Yeah.
All right, guys, so with Black Friday coming up, you're going to see one common theme in all of these big liberal cities that are ran by Democrats. You're going to see a ton of flash mob robberies, okay? And the reason why is because the young scholars of America are essentially running these liberal cities. They're allowed to do whatever they want to do with no consequences whatsoever. Now, there was a recent flash mob robbery that went viral that happened out in LA, as you had a bunch of teenagers who happen to be black for the most part that went into a Nike store and just robbed a ton of shoes. Okay, they took a ton of shoes, they took a ton of merchandise, and then they left. However, this time, this story's a little bit different because you have the members of the community, the local community, that are fed up, okay? They have seen enough of these criminals going into these retail stores and robbing them until eventually they go out of business. And it just so happens that, again, you have some people that finally realize that, you know what, if we continue to allow this to happen, then there are not going to be any jobs in our community. We're not going to have economic growth in our community. We're not going to have resources in our community. And we have to step up even in the absence of police enforcement of the law, okay, and prosecuting these criminals, because that's essentially not happening in LA, and that is why this stuff is happening in the first place. The criminals aren't even scared of the threat of police being there because they did it right in front of a police setup. Take a look.
A dramatic video tonight of a mob taking everything not nailed down at a Nike store in South LA. Store employees say this isn't the first time this has happened and might have been the same group. KCAL News reporter Laurie Perez is live outside the Nike community store in Watts, where thousands of dollars of merchandise was stolen. Laurie.
Well, Pat, this store has been hit so many times, despite the fact that there is an LAPD trailer set up literally feet from the entrance. It is totally out of control here, so much so that some locals say they are willing to get involved to help stop it themselves. Tonight in this parking lot, neighbors are set up on one side of the parking lot as an LAPD car with officers are patrolling on another side. It's the latest stunning video of a flash mob theft. This time, a group clearing out the Nike community store in Watts, throwing stacks of shoes and armfuls of clothing into trash bags they used to carry out the loot. LAPD says just before 6 p.m. Sunday, 17 suspects rushed into the retailer and rushed out with about 12 grand in product. They released these photos, hoping someone recognizes a face or the clothing. Investigators say it's at least the 10th time it's happened at this very store, 24 hours after the latest hit.
I just think it's sad. You know, it's sad that this is what it's come to.
Some paying customers are shaking their heads in frustration as others,
It's just embarrassing, man,
say they're ready to do more than that. This group was camped out in the Nike parking lot tonight.
So now, guess what? We patrolling right here, and this where we gonna be at. It gotta stop, and we gonna put a stop to it. We don't need no police involved. We're gonna take it to the streets.
Tough talk from locals who are taking the targeting personally.
Yeah, I'm born and raised right here, you know what I'm saying? So like, y'all take it from me.
Why is it frustrating to you?
Cause we ain't the one doing it and we live here. But if they come right here while we right here, they won't be the ones doing it either.
Right.
Guarantee that.
Just last month, LA County leaders touted the success of the recently formed Organized Retail Theft Task Force, made up of sheriff's deputies, LAPD, and the feds, saying since its start in August, the team has made 89 arrests and recovered more than 370 grand in stolen merchandise. Until those efforts reach Watts, some who live here say they are going to help protect their own.
Look, take a look. We look good. We finally doing something. They need to just leave us alone. They need to go about their business. Don't ever come back here. This community already rough. They just making it look bad.
Now, police say store workers think it is the same group of 15 to 20-year-olds who keep targeting this very same store. I'm Laurie Perez, KCAL News. Back to you.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Again, the residents in that community are fed up, okay? They're so fed up that they're out there trying to police the parking lot themselves because they don't want to see local businesses get robbed out of existence, which is what has happened. I mean, if you look at what happened to the Nike store out in Portland, Oregon, they closed that down because literally it got robbed out of business. They could not sustain their business with the fact that it kept getting robbed, okay? The shoplifting was out of control. So again, you know, these residents clearly don't want to see that happening to their neighborhood and the businesses that are located there. So this is what they're doing. And it's a damn shame that citizens have to step up and do the job that police are supposed to be doing. But then again, I really don't blame police because police don't really have an incentive to do their job nowadays, because if it just so happens that if you're a cop and you have to rough up a criminal and the criminal is the wrong skin color and you're a cop and you're the wrong skin color, then, you know, you might be accused of racism, okay? Especially if the criminal happens to die, okay? Then you might lose your life. You might be locked up for 20, 30, 40 years. You'll be demonized and smeared as a racist, et cetera, et cetera. And also on top of that, if you do your job and you actually arrest the criminals for shoplifting, they're just going to be let out, okay? I mean, the organized retail task force that LA has formed, they say they made 89 arrests. I guarantee you they probably released 89 of those people as well too, okay? That's just kind of how it goes, right? And that is the big problem that I want to talk about that also is affecting another liberal city, and this one happens to be Minneapolis. But before I get into this video right here, because this one's extremely shocking, I just have some advice for these brave citizens that are stepping up to try to stop these young scholars from shoplifting. A lot of times the shoplifting happens at night, and because of that, it can be extremely difficult to spot the young scholars when they're coming to loot a store. And that is why the sponsor of this video is Night Watch Pro. Night vision binoculars are the coolest pieces of tech that anybody can have, but until recently, they've just been too expensive for the average Joe. Luckily, newer models have caused prices to come way down. If you enjoy fishing, hunting, spotting wildlife, or you just want to keep an eye out for potential intruders or young scholars or criminals after dark, you'll find a good pair of night vision binoculars very useful. This is why myself and tens of thousands of others are getting Night Watch Pros. Night Watch Pros affordably allow anyone to see with predator-like vision in pitch darkness. They're highly effective for watching wildlife, scenic viewing, surveillance, patrol detection, home protection, and much more. Plus, they include high-end night vision features such as 4K video recording, a clear HD display, 5x zoom, anti-shake technology, and a long-lasting rechargeable battery. Tens of thousands of 5-star reviews back up the idea that Night Vision Pros are the best choice for night vision binoculars on the market. So this holiday season, give the gift of protection to your loved ones. Place your order for the Night Watch Pro now, and you'll receive exclusive free access to Prepper's Peak newsletter, free express shipping, and last but not least, 100% lifetime replacement guarantee. Simply go to nightwatchpro.com, use promo code Black Friday to get 25% off to take advantage of this deal before it runs out.
5 Investigates uncovers how one shoplifter is single-handedly cutting into the bottom lines of Minnesota's biggest retailers. And as everyone gets ready to hit the stores on Black Friday, he is still out there. Investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen is here with some eye-popping security videos revealing how that one man helped himself to thousands of dollars worth of merchandise over and over again.
He did. You may not know his name, but Best Buy and Target certainly do. Police reports and court records show Angelo Wagner Jr. has hit at least 26 stores, often working alone, and he's exactly the kind of guy retailers and detectives are most concerned about.
It is these groups of people coming in. You have 2 people, 5 people.
Flash mobs grabbed the headlines, hitting 3 Best Buy stores in Maplewood, Burnsville, and Blaine, all on Black Friday in 2021. A wave of organized retail crime sweeping Minnesota and the nation.
They are becoming more and more organized because it's profitable.
But out of the spotlight, investigators say this man is quietly doing the most damage. Month after month, store after store.
If I give you a name, Angelo Wagner, you heard that one?
Yes, I have.
Angelo Maurice Wagner Jr., to be exact. Wagner's name kept popping up when 5 Investigates analyzed more than 2 years of police reports from 30 Target and Best Buy stores around the Twin Cities. That's him at Target in West St. Paul. Look closely. Police say he used something to cut the cords off of those iPhones that were tethered to the display case. Investigators say Wagner teamed up with the woman in green at this Best Buy in Oakdale, taking laptops with an employee standing right next to them. We can't hear what was said, but it was not enough to stop them from strolling out the front door.
Eventually, it'll impact us because Best Buy might have, let's just say, $50,000 in losses. Well, someone has to make up that amount somehow.
Eagan detective Dan Spees worked a case involving Wagner in 2021.
He figured out a specific way to do it. He goes in, steals a TV or the phones or the radios or whatever they are, and then a couple days later he does again.
As an employee.
Yeah, so I want you guys to understand. They know who this guy is. They know his name. They got on video. They got his face. But yet he's still out in the streets. Okay, he's still out in the streets. Not arrested. Not in jail, right? They're just letting the guy just, freely rob these businesses. Again, you're talking about more than $125,000 worth of losses coming from one man, one individual. $125,000. And he's still roaming free.
Employee walks out of a locked stockroom door. Security cameras at Target in Lakeville record Wagner walking in. Out of public view, but still on camera. He then helped himself to a variety of products off the shelves, including a PlayStation 5, all before making another casual getaway. A sheriff's report from Ramsey County reveals Target blamed Wagner alone for an approximate loss of more than $125,000.
Target says it is closing 9 stores in 4 states because of theft and organized retail crime.
Target store closures earlier this year did not directly impact Minnesota, but the Minneapolis-based company tells 5 Investigates it is investing in more security across the board, from third-party guard services to locking cases for merchandise prone to theft.
Again, so that's not going to do much, right? And the reason why is what we're about to talk about here is because enforcement of the law is lacking, right, in these cities. They don't enforce the law. They don't arrest these individuals. Again, this dude's out in the street, and he knows that there's no consequences to his actions, right? Just like the young scholars that, organize flash mobs. They all know there's no consequences. That's why they keep doing it. Right? That's why they keep doing it. And it's going to continue to happen.
Is there more that these companies can be doing?
Yeah, there's absolutely a lot that they can be doing.
Landon Winklevoss is a cybersecurity expert with Nisos, working behind the scenes to help companies identify potential threats and criminals, often organizing online.
The people that are doing the stealing are different than the people that are monetizing, and even different than the people that are laundering the proceeds.
And it's not just electronics.
You have your fragrances and clothing. Shoes is a big one these days.
$13,000 worth of sneakers.
Last year, 5 Eyewitness News told the story of shop owner Walter Dillon, forced to close after thieves hit his store in Little Canada 5 times.
I don't believe the punishment is harsh enough
Dylan's testimony at the state capitol helped pass a new organized retail theft bill, adding greater consequences for those working in groups, as well as individuals who have engaged in a pattern of retail theft.
Because they put me out of business, but they still going on. They still thriving.
Despite viral videos of flash mobs across the country, a new study of shoplifting trends by the Council on Criminal Justice found more than 95% of cases involve just one or two offenders, just like Angelo Wagner Jr.
Remember him cutting off those iPhones at Target? Well, Wagner was bold enough to return to this same location here in West St. Paul 4 months later. But this time they alerted police who came and arrested him. A judge sentenced Wagner to 20 months in prison early last year, but now he's out again, and we found he's racking up new charges.
We wanted to speak with him.
Wagner, there he is.
But Wagner was a no-show for 3 court dates this month, and he now has a warrant out for his arrest.
You're going to have some people shaking their fists saying, why isn't this guy, locked under the jail? What's the solution here?
Typically, you're right. With property crime, they typically do not go to jail or prison for a very long time.
No, they don't, right? They don't. I mean, just a couple weekends ago, I was talking to an assistant DA, and this woman literally told me that, yeah, we don't really care that much about criminals that, steal a bag of chips from Target or whatever, right? We don't really care about that, okay? We don't go after those people. I mean, straight up. She's like, yeah, we don't really care. Like, they can make up for it, right? They can pay for it. Who cares? That's literally the mindset of some of these woke DAs, okay, that are running these cities. I heard that with my own 2 ears, and I was shocked. I was like, you're telling me that you don't care about retail theft. They literally believe in their mind that, no, well, these companies can just eat it, right? They can just eat it. They're big enough where it's okay. They can handle it. No big deal, right? Until these companies decide to shut down and close up, and then all of a sudden, people want to boo-hoo, whine, and cry and accuse the company of racism because black people don't have any more jobs, right? Again, it's amazing.
We don't know yet whether the new legislation will deter repeat offenders such as Wagner.
Well, what you got to do is you got to lock him up and throw away the key, right? That guy getting 20 months is a travesty. He should have got at least 10 years, right? I'm so serious, bro. I'm so serious. You got to lock him up. You got to lock him up and throw away the key, okay? First of all, you got to actually enforce the law, okay? You actually got to prosecute him, right? You got to go after him. And then once you find him guilty, you got to lock him up and throw away the key. Get him off the streets. That's how you solve the problem. Because if you lock him up, okay, you throw away the key, then the criminals would think twice about whether or not they want to rob a business or to engage in this type of organized crime. They'll think twice about it because they know, if I get caught, that's 10 years. 10 years. Do I really want to spend 10 years behind, robbing a Target for a $500 TV, right? I'm just saying that's what you need to do.
For now, Detective Speece says he's counting on collaboration with other agencies, combining cases across the metro to finally make an impact.
That's what I hang my hat on, knowing that even though for my specific case, they might not have a lot of repercussions or even go to jail or prison, but eventually down the road, if they continue down this path, they most likely will.
Yeah, again, ridiculous, right? Ridiculous. Even this guy is saying, well, I put in all this work, but not likely they're actually going to go to jail or prison, which is the problem. We're not locking enough people up. And people, again, they cringe when I say this, but I'm so serious. We need a new crime bill, right? If you want to clean up crime in this country, we need a new crime bill, okay? We got to start being tough on criminals again. And then once you start being tough on them again, then you will see crime go back down. But until you get tough on these people, you're going to continue to see the same thing over and over and over again. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is what these people voted for. You voted for soft on crime policies, and this is what you get. There's a reason why most of this is happening in inner liberal cities that are run by Democrats and woke DAs. It's really that simple. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.